Hey guys, ShadowLink793 here, and I'm back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. You know, since Infinity hasn't been announced for January in Breakers of Shadow, I decided to re-update my Cyber Dragon deck. So I've tested it actually a bunch of times, and it's actually really good against current like meta decks like Cosmos, Magispectors, etc., etc. It's a bit updated from like my last one, but basically it's not really too much different. But there are a few tech-ins that I like that I put in for the new format. So let's get started. Of course, we're gonna start off with 3 Cyber Dragons, Heart and Soul of deck. Can't run the deck without it. 3 Cyber Dragon cores. Again, you know, main deck core. Can't run the deck without it. It's your searcher. Denies makes your rank 5 plays. Honest to protect all your, since most of the monsters in this deck are all light attribute. So there's a thing right there. I 2 Galaxy Soldiers. Now I ran 3 for a time, but I was tired of seeing it in my hand. So I started to main 2 now, and like the deck's consistency hasn't really been um, hit terribly by having 2 Galaxy Soldiers. So if you want to main 3, 3 is fine, but I have like 2. If I need to side in the third one, I side it in usually. But I'm comfortable maining it at maining 2 because there's a lot of plays I can make with this deck, and it's pretty consistent. Um, and 3 Denko Sekkas. In my previous builds, I only ran 2 because I was tired of seeing in my hand. But what I feel with the format getting even more back row heavy, I feel like Denko is, and the fact that this deck hates back row and fucks you up, we really want to put on the back row hate. So yeah, 3 Denko Sekkas really help, especially against like the Magispector Satellar Knight matchup. With their back row is pretty heavy. So usually I would like to see Denko in my hand. So I only put 3 in there for consistency, and usually you'll see a Denko like once every couple games. So 3 Denkos is actually really good for this deck. It's also, she's a light monster, so you could pitch her for Galaxy Soldier if you really need to. And that's the great thing about her. And Honest is purely also mostly protect Denko. I never really use Honest for any of my Cyber Dragon machines, but if I do, it's helpful. But Honest is mainly here for Denko. And so to cap off the monster lineup, 2 Maxis. Now, Maxi is a card I've always been on and off with about maining because I've always put it on my side deck, but I actually like maining 2 Maxis in this deck because, you know, a lot of decks are specialing more these days. Jatellar Knights are always a good matchup for Maxi. Cosmos, I've had great matches up with using Maxi against Cosmos. Other Pendulum decks I'm not really too sure about, but against a lot of other meta decks it works pretty well. So I main 2 Maxis for the format. I side in the third one, but 2 Maxis for the main deck right now. And then I main now for the spells. Now I main 3 Galaxy Cyclones here, cause back row is a thing we hate and we don't like it. It gets rid of things like any set cards, and you know, people these days are running like Lusaturns, you know, a lot of Floodgate cards. Yeah, you mainly got Cyclones here to get rid of like Floodgates that pretty much a problem for you. And the fact that you can use it in your graveyard is really good. I just wish it wasn't so fucking pricey, but you know, 3 Galaxy Cyclones for the deck is really good. I would probably wait for a price drop before anyone would be willing to pick up these babies here, but because I believe $40 like right now is like way too pricey for what this card does. But it's a really good card, and I main 3 of them at this point. So yeah, 2 Fusions Constritions. Because, you know, I actually didn't realize how good the value of this card was until more recently. Because I was actually considering putting triple upstarts instead. But actually, Fusion Conscription is actually not only a searcher, but it's also a recycler. So it's actually really good for this deck, which basically searches out your Cyber Dragons and recycles them from graveyard. So I actually really like this card for that. So I run 2, because I feel like 3 is pretty cloggy. But 2 is fine. It's a really good card. It usually makes me use my fusion plays. So I would recommend running 2 fusion conscriptions if you want to at least start off. So yeah, 1 Foolish Burial, because we want to dump our core we want to dump our cores, because he makes all the plays. Or if you want to just, but mostly we're just gonna be foolishing the core anyway, because then you could also activate repair plant, do your search engine, go off. So one foolish burial, one Raigeki, because honestly, with Magispectors coming out already out, a lot of I'm beginning to notice that a lot of things in the format cannot be targeted or destroyed these days. So one Raigeki is fine. I was actually running a Raigeki and a Dark Hole, but I had to cut I wanted to cut a Dark Hole for consistency, and I've actually haven't had the need to really destroy all my opponent's monsters, since I pretty much win the game regardless. But yeah, the Raigeki's there for if necessary if people need it. And on the next spells, 3 MSTs, because Mystical Space Typhoon is a fucking godsend when getting rid of shit. Gets rid of their pendulums, get rid of their floodgates, get rid of their back row. 3 MSTs, we hate back row, it is the enemy of this deck. 2 instant fusions, your target's gonna be Panzer Dragon, for the rank 5 plays, when you go into Nova, then go into Infinity, go whatever rank 5 you want to go into. But those are the plays. 3 staple power bonds. Always run 3 power bonds. Not a Cyber Dragon deck if you don't run 3 of these babies. It is your OTK, and it is your win this is one of your win conditions, so you need it. 1 fusion support, because actually it really helps with the plays, and I cannot tell you how many times this card has saved my life, because when I top deck a power bond, I top deck this, and I have a graveyard full of Cyber Dragons to use. That's game. So, more than one's a bit cloggy, so I always just run 1 fusion support. Because, paying half your life is steep, but, you pay more when you're power bonding, so it's not too bad. 3 repair plants, main engine searcher, along with core. Kind of need it. It's your main engine searcher and recycler. Such a good card. So balanced, too. And 2 machine duplications, core plays. Get your Cyber Dragons out there. And to top it all off, 1 limiter removal. Staple quick play spell for any machine deck that OTKs. Now that covers the main deck. So the extra deck has been relatively remained untouched, but it has been updated a bit to coincide with the new format, with Infinity coming out. First off, the combo of the fusions, we have 1 Cyber End Dragon. Your main boss monster. You'll probably go into once in a while, but it's not absolutely one you'll go into every time. Twin Dragon, the one you'll probably go into more, but he has lost his usefulness a bit because of the remarkably awesome Chimera-Tech Rampage Dragon, which you run 2 of now, because he not only can attack 3 times, he can also dump their light machines, which is actually really good. It's a dumper, and it's a foolish burial for you, and it's an attacker. So it can attack 3 times with power bond. It's pretty much game. So we run 1 twin though, just in case. So don't be just in case you have to find something to beat over it. But normally you can't really find anything in the format that's going to beat over 4,200 at the get go. So 2 Rampage Dragons are good. It also helps for rank 5 plays with the Nova into Infinity, since it is a rank 5, the level 5, which is really good. Like I said, 2 Panzer Dragons for your instant fusion targets. 3 Novas, you need the standard Nova. 1 Pallades. I might actually put this at 2, because I actually find more use out of Pallades than any other of the other rank 5s that aren't Nova in here. But who knows. 1 Volcasaurus, because, dealing damage is actually really good. You soften them up, and then you finish them off with your big beaters. But, yeah, like I said, I might replace this with 1 Pallades, another Pallades, I'm not sure, though. It's up in the air right now, but I think I like Volcasaurus. He's pretty good. 1 Zenmaio for another back row getting rid of. He's also, since he's also a machine, you could also go into rank 5 him in the same turn, so there's that. And, we'll top it all off, 3 Cyber Dragon Infinities. I know, 3 might be a little much, but, it is going to be our new main boss monster, so Infinity is going to be a card we're going to use consecutively. So I have it out for 3 infinities. I just hope he isn't pricey when he comes out in Breakers of Shadow. He's got to be secret, so hope he's not pricey. Here's praying, guys. So anyway, that covers the full extra deck. And now I actually have a legitimate side deck for this now, because I've actually practiced this deck for tournament play. So here it's just done up. I got 3 Artifact Lancias. The reason I picked Lancia over Imperial Iron Wall is I don't like having back row in this deck too much, and I like to limit my back row to like as little as possible for consistency. And I find Iron Wall will get MST'd a lot more. Lancia is a quick effect, so this actually helps against the Ritual Beast matchup, the Cosmos matchup, any other matchup that requires the banishing of cards. So I've actually, and it's also if you could also set it in your back row, if they MST it or something, it's going to be destroyed, and you could special it. Good thing it's a rank 5. It's a level 5 too, because then you can go into your rank 5 plays. So anyway, I prefer Lancia over Iron Wall in this case. 1 Galaxy Soldier for again deciding in case I need a third one. 1 Cyber Eltunin, because a lot of cards these days can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. Magic Specters can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects. But with Eltunin, I think you can clear field. I don't know the ruling on that. If Eltunin's effect would work on Magic Specters, because it does send them all to graveyard, but since they're pendulums, I don't think they can be sent to grave. But anyway, if anyone could elaborate the ruling on that, that'd be cool. But yeah, I like Eltunin is a big beater in case you want to get your graveyard out. I might actually put in Overload Fusions because Rampage is a thing, but I like Eltunin because he clears field and he gains boost. I like him over over Dragon, but I would put in Over Dragon somewhere in this build if I could. But anyway, here's next one is a 3rd Maxi. You know, just in case you can't run into the two main ones, there's just a 3rd one if you want to side in. 2 Shared Rides, because you know Magic Specters actually do a lot of other decks actually search a lot. Just in case you play like something like that, you want to side these in just to get your extra draws in, get the extra plays in. So you want to draw as much as possible and get your cards your great god hands as soon as possible. 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors. You know, I don't actually know any of the dark attribute decks these days. Maybe the DDDs, I guess, because I think Shaddolls are pretty much. I don't know if you're going to see Shaddolls too much at any given tournament now with their construct being hit and their El Shaddol at 1. So, but just in case, you know, Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors are there. 2 Fairy Wind, you know, just to get rid of any bothersome cards and burn them for damage. I was considering this and Spell Shattering Arrow, but I picked Fairy Wind because it also gets rid of any traps too. Spell Shattering only gets rid of spells. But yeah, 2 Fairy Winds just to get rid of troublesome back row and burn for damage. It's actually really good. It's a quick burn card, so it's like it's not going to be affecting you if you have a back row, and it doesn't affect your Denko plays. And to top it off, the last 3 are Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Now, I side in Fortress Dragons for mainly any like machine matchup, but I find this card is actually really good against Cosmos. This deck has actually gone really good against Cosmos because when they bring out their big beaters, contact, because they're all machines, and you know they summon like a Dark Destroyer or a Forerunner or a Slip Rider, and you have a Cyber Dragon, you just contact the shit out of them, and then you know they lost their board and you have established board. That's what I like about Fortress Dragon, the good old like I don't know, Gadget Gear Gear days. So anyway, this is my Cyber Dragon deck profile. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. You know, if there's any improvements I should make, or like what cards I should side in, because you know I think it's pretty good, but like you know there's a lot of like builds online, and this is the one I came up with after experimenting, playtesting for a while. So anyway, guys, this is ShadowLink793, and I hope to see you guys again in another Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. See you guys later. Bye.